Beep boop bop, it's Becca and welcome back to Baking with Becca. So today we're going to make a vegan birthday cake. This is going to be super decorative and exciting, and we have 2 birthdays coming up that we're celebrating tomorrow, and so we're going to make a vanilla cake with chocolate chips and sprinkles in it. It's going to be super colorful and fun, so here we go. So here are all of our ingredients for our cake. We have 1.5 cups of rice milk, 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1/3 cup plus 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 2 1/4 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of rainbow sprinkles, and 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. First, make sure to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And so we're going to combine our wet ingredients plus our sugar as our first step. What's really nice about this recipe is that you only need 1 bowl. You don't have to have a bowl of this, bowl of that, blah, blah, blah. Everything just goes into 1 bowl. But we still want to mix our wet ingredients separate before we add in the rest. So this is actually the recipe that I used in the Not My Arms Baking Challenge, which was a super fun video, but we did not show at all how to actually make it. But you should still check out that video. Okay, now we can just add our dry right into here. So you can just add in your flour. And cornstarch is an interesting ingredient in this. It actually helps to make the batter a lot thicker. So at first when you start mixing it, you're gonna think it's really thin, but then if you let it sit for just a couple minutes, it really thickens up and becomes like a normal batter consistency. So you just have to be patient. And then mix it up. Okay, that looks really good. So now you can pour in your sprinkles. And mix it in. I love adding sprinkles to vanilla batter just because it makes it look so happy and fun, and it's especially good for a birthday because you have to be festive. Then we're actually going to wait until these are in our pans to add in our chocolate chips. So to prep our pans for our batter, what I like to do is cut out pieces of parchment paper. Because when you're making a birthday cake, you really do not want it to stick, no risks you want to be taking here. So what I like to do is cut out a piece of parchment paper. It does not have to be like a perfect circle. It just will help have the cakes pop out nice and easy. So I like to spray the bottom, stick the parchment paper on top of that, and then spray a little bit more baking spray on top of that. And then I'll just take a paper towel and wipe it clean. So now that our pans are prepped, we're going to pour our batter right into them. So you can just guess about what half is. I usually pour in a little bit and then a little bit into the other one and keep going. I have my handy dandy finger to help me. And now we want to put in our chocolate chips. So I like to just sprinkle them around, and the reason why I don't put them directly into the batter is because they're pretty heavy compared to the batter. So I don't want to have it all the chocolate chips stick to the bottom of the bowl and then have them not evenly spread out. So I usually just sprinkle them on top, and then I'll kind of just make sure that they're covered by the batter a little bit. So I'm going to finish putting all the chocolate chips in. So now our batter is all ready, our chocolate chips are evenly spread out. So now these are going to go into the oven for just under 20 minutes. The way to check them is by sticking a toothpick in, and if it comes out clean, then that means it's done. Make sure that you don't just think it's underdone because you're sticking it in and like chocolate's coming out, because the chocolate's still going to be all melty. So just use your best judgment. And Okay, so the cakes are out of the oven and cooled. They've been cooling for about 6 hours. And now we are going to make our whipped cream, which is going to act as our frosting for the cake. So what I have here is some non-dairy topping. Rich's is my favorite brand of that, just so you know. And then we're gonna pour this into the bowl. Nice and thick. And the other one. Okay, then what I like to add to this is a little bit of sugar. This is just normal granulated sugar. And a little bit of vanilla to add some flavor. And then we're gonna end up making part of this chocolate, but you can do it all together first and then separate it. And mix it up, it's gonna take a while. Okay. An arm workout and overheating of an electric mixer later. And our whipped cream is finally done. So now I'm going to take most of this out, leave a little bit behind, and we're gonna make some of it chocolate. So we have most of our whipped cream in here, and now we have like this much left. And we're going to add some cocoa powder to it to make it chocolate. So make sure you don't add too much because you can always add more. I just like to guess. Okay, and mix it up. Okay, and now we're ready to assemble the cakes. So we have our knife, we have our 2 layers. I have one on this carrier thing that's gonna be able to go in the fridge because it's whipped cream, you're gonna wanna refrigerate the cake when it's done. So I'm just gonna do a layer of this chocolate whipped cream in the middle of the 2 cake layers. So you can just use all the chocolate whipped cream. And spread it out nice and even. Okay, and now we're ready for our other layer. So I like to put one of the layers upside down and the other one normal, like right side up, so then it's a little bit curved on the top because I think that looks nice. And place it on top. Make sure it's even on all sides, and then we're ready to coat the whole thing in our vanilla whipped cream. So we're gonna end up making the outside of the cake nice and fun, but first, we just want to frost the whole thing in our white whipped cream. So now it's time to make the cake fun now that we have our bottom layer on here. So we're gonna make kind of like a tie-dye marbly looking thing on here. So we're going to do pink and blue. So this is a pink gel food coloring. The gel food colorings are a little bit stronger, so they're gonna make it a lot brighter. And then this is a liquid food coloring. I'm gonna put, we really only need a little bit of each color because a little bit is gonna go a long ways. And then also the food coloring, you really only need a little bit. And add a tiny bit, and then if you want more, you can always add more, but you cannot take it away. And our blue. And then mix those up. Okay, and also they don't have to be completely mixed in just because we're gonna be like marbling it on the cake. So what you wanna do is take just a little blob and dab it on a spot on the cake. A little blob, dab it on another spot. And then you can just smear it out. And then same thing on the sides. You can add like a little blob there, a little blob there, all around. And then you can just smooth it like you normally would, like this. So I'm gonna do this with the pink, and then we'll do the same thing with our blue. So now we need to make another color, and this is gonna be the color that we write happy birthday in, and then also for our border. So I'm gonna use purple, since it seems like a nice combination with the blue and the pink. This is the gel food coloring again. And mix that up. Okay, and I'm not so fancy, so I use Ziploc bags to pipe out my frosting. So go ahead and spoon that in there. And push it all to one side. I can do it by shaking it. And then you can just snip off the tip. So first I'm gonna write happy birthday, and I'm gonna do this like in a cursive because it makes it look a little fancier, and then I'll do the border. So now I'm gonna do the border. I usually do a border because it kind of looks messy on the bottom where like the cake meets the plate. So I just do little like balls of whipped cream. So I'm gonna just go like this. A little ball and pick it up right next to it. And then I'm gonna go all the way around the cake. So now we have our border all done, and our last step is going to be our final decorations. And it's gonna be some little cute flowers that I'm gonna do around the border. So our petals are gonna be in blue, and then our center is gonna be in purple. So the way that I like to do this is I do 5 little petals. And then after the petals, I do a little dot of the other color right in the middle. Just like that. And so I'm gonna do those flowers all the way around the border. And the cake is all done. We have our little flowers around the sides. I think it turned out pretty well. And I hope everyone tomorrow likes this cake. I hope they think it's nice and celebratory for their birthdays. If you enjoyed coming along this process of putting the cake together and making it with me, please give the video a thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe, check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye.